We were married for 8 years, and now it was over. We had kids, all the possessions we built together. I just wanted it to be fair.
When Dad died, the whole family was fighting over the estate. Dad would have been so upset.
Nobody seemed to believe me. I was innocent. I really was.
I don't know where to start. For one, I married way too young. I was 18, homeless, didn't do drugs, no alcohol. I just didn't make enough money in the job I had to be able to support myself. It was the dead of winter and I was sleeping in the park. I was so cold, so lonely.
Life may not always go according to plan. Just about every human on this earth has to deal with adversity. We often find ourselves in situations we can't handle on our own, and all too often, our hardships become a legal issue.
My life was falling apart around me. It was like sitting in the woods, listening to the approaching storm and having no desire to take cover. And I was just this young, passive-aggressive, insecure little boy. And there was this girl. It was the mother's idea for us to get married. Neither of us really thought we should get married. And I thought, it takes time to plan weddings, and I could find a way out of this situation while the wedding's being planned, but the mother took us that day and got us married. And that night, the mother kicked me out. Just came in and kicked me out. In the following months, my situation became so difficult to go anywhere that I was unable to make court for the annulment. I called, asked that it be rescheduled, and they told me I didn't have to be there. The annulment would go through anyway, and the other side basically wins, which they wanted the same thing, so it was okay with me. And I went on with my life. Then, the storm clouds came back. It was 8 years later. I was well into another marriage, and it was in shambles. I had 2 kids with her, and I would leave. It was not working out. I had no money for an attorney, and I found out that annulment that supposedly happened 8 years before, they didn't show up either. And the whole thing was just dismissed, and I was still married to this other person that they told me would go through and I wouldn't be married anymore. Well, I still needed to go through with the divorce with my new wife, and I had no money for an attorney, but I thought the system was fair and balanced, in that if I went in there, that the system is there to protect everybody. I was wrong. When it was all over, I literally only had the clothes on my back. Me and that woman, we had built a life together for 8 years. She got everything.
You cannot trust the system to be fair and balanced. You have to protect your rights in every situation. You need an attorney who cares to do the right thing. You need Gene Thompson.
My problems only continued, but it was time for me to resolve my first marriage. And come to find out, I never knew I had a kid with her. The entire time I had another kid out there, and she didn't tell me. I was clueless.
Do not go at it alone. If you're undergoing the storms of life, you need an attorney. You need an attorney who cares. An attorney that knows your name. You need Gene Thompson.
With legal situations, clients often feel like their life is spiraling out of control. That's where I try to come in and help the parties reconcile their positions. I won't stop until all parties are satisfied.
And the mother told me she would never keep him away like my other wife had done with my other children, and that he would always be there. But she didn't keep the promise. And I would go months without seeing him, and then it turned into a battle of, well, you're never going to see him again. And my kids are always being used as weapons against me to emotionally destroy me and try to make it to where I sway to whatever they want. It was hard.
Legal issues can be some of the most challenging times in a person's life. I try to be very sensitive to that and help guide clients through the legal process. I try to use my skills and expertise to provide legal services on a very one-on-one, personalized basis.
And before I hired Gene Thompson, there was nothing I could do to stop these women. They were just going to play with the emotions of my children. I wasn't going to be a victim anymore. I hired Gene Thompson. And for the first time in years, I felt like the storm clouds were lifting, that the sun was coming out, and things were going to be okay. It's like the storm is over. I don't know what I would have done without Gene. Thank you.